Alrighty, it's Kim, and I'm here with a very good friend of mine. Her name's Kaitlyn O'Connor, and her and I, yay, we met in the Rolf Institute. Let's see, what was that? 13 years ago?
I think, yeah, 12 or 13.
Yeah, we bonded because she was playing super frisbee and got an ankle fracture, an avulsion fracture, and I took her to Kaiser and a weird chiropractor to get an X-ray.
Mm-hmm. It was an adventure.
The connection was forged. So I was just thinking about what we were going to chat about, which is pain part of the root cause of addiction or imbalance in our emotions, our energy, in our physical body? How does avoiding our feelings, which is what a person in addiction would be doing, how does that energy build up and cause emotional and physical pain? So me as a person that's very imbalanced and just always looking for a way to find equilibrium, I think that if I think about it at a subconscious level, the type of people that I'm drawn to are people that hold a bit more structure in their life, or they display more moderation and balance. And for me, with Kaitlyn and meeting her in this perfect timeline of my life, of like people being dropped into my life at perfect points of healing by my higher power, which I believe, she came into my life when I needed to see the possibility of what it's like to be in balance and also have joy. And I really believe that this beautiful person embodies that. So I'm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try. Do my best. Some days better than others, right?
Yeah. Well, Cheetos as croutons on a green salad, that's balance.
Oh, yum. David and I got this huge bag of like the quote natural Cheetos at Costco, and they were gone in like a day, but I hardly ever see them. They were very tasty. I mean, they tasted exactly the same, just less intense orange colored.
Like cherries, they're here and they're gone.
Exactly. Oh, it's cherry season. I gotta go to the farmer's market.
Yeah. So something that I noticed in my body is her and I, we practice something called Rolfing structural integration. Kaitlyn is certified a forest yoga, or it was, yes.
Yeah.
Forest yoga. She's also a student of Ayurveda and found some really great tools and balance there. I noticed in my body as my addictions, which was alcohol and codependency, went further and further unchecked, that the tools that used to work for my physical pain kind of stopped working. And I attribute that to me avoiding my feelings, and energy from emotion and feelings is like the first or second law of thermal what is it? The energetic law of thermal. Yeah, like it's, energy's not lost or created. So if I am stuffing my emotions in these storage lockers all over my body, it becomes potential energy, not kinetic energy. So movement things like breathing techniques and yoga and essential oils, they help our body to start like, okay, like this needs to change, Yeah,
that's really powerful. I've actually never thought of it quite that way, and I really appreciate that, of like, keep it moving through so it doesn't become stuck and then come out in a time when you don't want it to come out that way, or in a way that's not productive for you, like you yell at somebody that you love, or you do something sort of self-harming because that energy is bubbling away and you don't have anything to do with it. Plus, when you move energy through, it makes space for new good things to come into your life.
Yeah, like joy and being present. So something that I, as a person, because I was an alcoholic for 14 years, And I wasn't necessarily doing like the outburst type thing. It was more of I didn't know how to get inside my body to feel my feelings because I had repressed them for so long. So I would just drink to keep numbing that so that I could just continue to escape my body in a somatic way. So some tools for those in the beginning of recovery, I would definitely say using peppermint essential oil. And so how you would take that is you would take a drop in your hand.
I'm gonna take some too.
Do it. You're gonna rub your hands together. And then you're just gonna take 4 deep breaths in your nose. So keep your eyes closed. So that would be akin to what I would call cognitive therapy. In the old days, it would be a rubber band on your wrist and you would snap it whenever you had a negative feeling or emotion. So I don't like the idea of punishing myself for having feelings. That feels like unproductive. So peppermint, because it comes from a plant, it comes from essential oil. It's crossing that olfactory in your nose and crossing the blood-brain barrier. Now it's gone into your brain chemistry and it's chilling your body out. And it's also helped you change direction. So like cognitive therapy, if someone's like thinking about harming themselves and then they snap the rubber band, it's supposed to like kind of shock them out of their thinking process. So this is a kinder way for us to kind of like bring it back. And then what I would recommend a person do is follow journaling questions that are going to kind of help them get that stuck energy from their body out onto paper so that it's not just like in your head with this like stream of thoughts, you know? Mm-hmm. That's part of some of the things that I've been working on. Do you have anything swimming in your mind for me talking about that?
Yeah, it made me think about art in general, like this idea of the morning pages where you wake up in the morning and write just what's present for you and get it out of you. And then, but also from a creative perspective is like what's percolating, get it out on paper and see what further inspiration can flow at that point. So also other types of art, you know, painting, dancing, getting into your creative spirit, because that's very much moves energy, creativity.
Yeah, good idea. You know, I when I wake up in the morning, that, you know, you can't quite put your finger on what you were dreaming about, but I think you're right that that's the perfect time to try to figure out what your subconscious was doing while you were sleeping.
Mm-hmm. And then also don't stress if you don't have time in the morning.
Yeah, right. Well, Kaitlyn, you mentioned that you had a simple breathing technique that's really great for helping your clients get back into their body.
Yeah, thank you. So this is a simple one. If you're watching this and you want to do it with us, please just kind of get a little bit taller in your body. I recommend this for folks with a tight neck, which is almost everyone. And also it's a great exercise if you want to just stop and take some deep breaths, which is going to oxygenate your blood. It's going to get you more into the present moment. And if there's emotions that are swirling around, it can often just get you a little more centered with what part of your emotion do you want to focus on in that moment. I've also done a little bit of voice dialogue work, which is where we kind of like notice these different parts of ourselves. So during one, moment, your little girl might be coming up and she's whining and she's stomping her feet. And then your old lady crone grandmother self might be over there kind of nurturing her and saying like, it's okay, it's okay. And beginning to sort of actually say, oh, that's her and that's her. So in doing like a breathing exercise, for example, it might start to crystallize like which part of yourself, if you wanted to put them in characters like that, are you wanting to acknowledge, but then also which one do you want to actually bring into that present moment further? So anyway, that's a tool that I often use since I'm a Gemini rising. So I have like all kinds of different characters happening that are all parts of myself. So the exercise is just hug yourself, and you're going to place your hands right under your armpits here. And they're just resting gently against your ribs. And the idea is you're going to breathe right into that area under your armpit, and you're going to feel for your ribs coming out to meet your hands. So sometimes this is called diaphragmatic breathing or horizontal breathing. And just take, if you can, 5 deep breaths of this. So we'll just do 2 together right now in the interest of time. And then nice full exhale as you exhale, because that's going to help prepare you to take your next deep inhale. And the reason that I recommend this for a tight neck is just some anatomy real quick, is that these muscles under here, your latissimus, your serratus anterior, those little guys between your ribs, they all are really important muscles for breathing, but they get quiet. We get used to breathing more up here, especially when we're in a state of stress. And every time we breathe, there's other muscles that will help us breathe if these aren't working. And so it creates a tight neck because they're contracting as we breathe. So it can just be very relaxing on a lot of levels to turn on these guys under here and just breathe from that lower place. So give it a try next time you're feeling a little bit stressed or you need to recenter.
I really like that one.
Yeah, it's so simple and very effective.
It's like a little hug too.
Totally. I know, I love telling my clients, well, first you hug yourself. First things first.
I was reading one of Peter Levine's. He has like a little simple flip book. There's a PDF. I might even actually attach it in this video thing. But that's one of the ways to help your vagus nerve relax or tone.
Oh, yeah. Wait, which thing? Sorry.
It's to help build resilience in your brain and help to tone the vagus nerve.
Breathing.
Yeah. So it's part of help regulate your nervous system.
Yeah. I saw a video somewhere on social media the other day, and it was some kind of scan, and it showed a person breathing deeply. And it was an image of, like, they were trying to show this is how your vagus nerve is supported by breathing. And it showed how the brain was moving and getting more toned as someone breathed deeply. It was very cool. I'm not sure what kind of scan it was, but it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, peppermint definitely makes breathing more fun.
Yes, for sure.
So go ahead.
I just said all essential oils. I used to have a joke with Kim sometimes. I'd be like, oh, instead of whenever you want to snort Coke, you just snort some essential oils. It's almost as good.
Just create your own chemistry.
Exactly.
Right? Another really good oil blend is Deep Blue. So I noticed that early in my recovery, the pain, the emotional pain, the stuck energy was so unbearable for me to go back inside my body that I needed something to help me. And I didn't want to take, over the counter stuff, and I'm not allowed to take anything prescribed because it's addictive and that would go against my recovery and sobriety. So Deep Blue is amazing for helping with natural, non-addictive pain reliever. So love this, love the peppermint, breathing exercises, just amazing, and finding people in your life that inspire you and seeing what it could be like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard somebody once say, it's really important to have a good friend, a good mentor, and there was one other one. But anyway, I forget what it was. Somebody, I'm sure, watching this will know.
A good dog.
A good dog. But having a good mentor is what I thought of. And not that I'm your mentor or whatever, but just having people that we're learning from and people that you're also mentoring, and create kind of having that cycle of recognizing that we all have knowledge to pass on and we all have things to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so grateful that we can do this together. And it's part of my healing process, realizing this beautiful timeline and the people that were dropped into my life at this perfect moment, and being grateful. And thank you for shining the light of joy and presence so that I would see it and say, oh, go that way, go that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fun part too is like Kim and I met, and then we didn't really talk for a couple of years, and then reconnected, and it was just like we were immediately good friends. So also recognizing that sometimes things percolate for a while and you really connect with people when the time is right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Deep Blue, I have my bottle too right here. I probably use this the most with my clients, and it's probably the thing that clients take home with them the most. And then I've also really been enjoying Adaptive Blend lately.
Yeah. You know, it's like we're building our toolkit, and other people are like, what are you doing? That's working. You know, want to have this way to take care of ourselves so that we feel that we have our own back, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's something I learned in, I'm taking the Y12SR, the yoga recovery training. And when she does her mountain pose, it's the open heart and strong back. And that really empowers me. And, you know, as a person that was living in pain for many years, like, oh, I could still do this.
Yeah, I love that pose. That's awesome, Kim.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Good to be with you. Bye.
Bye.